Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to another Good Morning Devotional. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Duncan Sr., and I'm so happy and excited to have this opportunity to lead you today in yet another grief devotional. This is the daily grief devotional that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. That's right. Grief, my brothers, is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how it is expressed on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. And that's why around here, we say good morning because morning is a good thing. Amen. And so thank you for joining us today on this Sunday, June the 11th. We are grateful to have this opportunity to lead you in yet another grief devotional to help you to mourn in a meaningful manner. Amen. Today's grief quote says, "Grief can be the garden of compassion. If you keep your heart open through everything, your pain can become your greatest ally in your life's search for love and wisdom." Grief can be the garden of compassion. If you keep your heart open through everything, this is everything, your pain can become your greatest ally in your life's search for love and wisdom. Wow. Grief being the garden of compassion. Your pain can become your greatest ally. I know that's hard to understand or believe or to fathom, but if you keep your heart open, your pain can become your greatest ally, your greatest support. Your pain can become your greatest support if you keep your heart open, because grief is the garden of compassion. Today, y'all, is day 162. And real brief, we're going to talk about my grief is my greatest ally. Our grief is not only our friend. We've had devotions about that in the past. Our grief is not only our friend, it is our ally, right? An ally. What does an ally do? An ally supports you, right? An ally, um, let me, yeah. So it's saying that grief is not just your friend, but it's an ally to unite or form a connection or relationship between. Um, I know my definition. I'm just looking up some other stuff. A state formally cooperating with another for a military purpose, combining or unite resources or commodities with another mutual benefit, right? Grief is not just your friend, but oh man, there's so many different things that it can do to support you as you navigate through this journey. As you navigate through this grief journey, as you deal with the grief in the morning that you're feeling on the inside, when we leverage it correctly, right? When you mourn meaningfully, when you really begin to understand that, as the quote said, you can learn how your pain can become your greatest ally in search for love and wisdom again. It does. If we reframe our thoughts, if we shift the way we think, if we begin to leverage it instead of loathing it, right, it can actually lead us to greater. Check this out. That our grief is not only our friend, it is our ally. It has our best interest at heart. It looks out for us and wants only what's best for us. Yeah, this is what's so very important, because when you start looking at grief, we are a spirit, we have a soul, we live in a body. There's so many different dimensions to grief, and as you navigate through it, right? And when it says grief wants what's best for you, grief is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition, right? And so grief is trying to help you to naturally and normally respond and navigate through the loss, change, and transition that you're feeling. And yes, it's painful, right? But it's helping you to navigate through the loss, change, and transition. That's why we say, here it is. We don't suppress it, we express it. We don't conceal it, we reveal it. Because um if we grieve our grief, right? if we If we hold on to it, if we don't express it, if we don't allow it to do what it's designed to do, it becomes trapped in our body, which turns into illness, which begins to turn. It could be physical illness, perhaps mental illness. Uh, it can have an adverse effect on us if we don't embrace it, right? If we don't embrace the grief, if we get stuck, right? If we get stuck there and stalled and remain stagnant and stop, right? Then it cannot do what it was designed to do, which is to help us naturally and normally respond and navigate through the loss, change, and transition that we have felt and experienced in our life. So, yes, not only is it our friend, but it is our ally. It looks out for us and wants only what's best for us. If we're wise, what do we do with allies? Here it is. We listen to them. We seek their counsel. We hold their opinions in high regard. We listen to our allies. What is your grief saying? Right? What is it saying? The intel is going to give you information. It's going to help you. What does it say? You listen to them. What are you feeling? Right? What are you feeling? How can you express it? How can you articulate it? Right? Are you listening to your grief? Are you listening to what is whispering um, in this season in your life? We seek their allies. We seek their counsel. We hold their opinion in the highest regard. Here it is. Our grief knows what to do and when to do it. Our grief, y'all, knows what to do and when to do. It knows when to release. It knows when to cry. It knows when to be angry. It knows when to question. It knows what to do and when to do it. If we would just listen, if we would just seek his counsel, if we would just pay attention, right? Our grief knows what to do and when to do it. We can trust it to guide us towards our most meaningful and joyous future. That's what I'm saying. When I say it is the natural and normal response, you can trust it to guide you as you navigate through this thing called grief with your mind and with your emotions and everything that you're dealing with. It's going to guide you along the path, right? It's going to guide you as you navigate through it all. It is going to help you. It is going to guide you. It is going to help you. It is going to tell you like where it's at and what it's feeling and how it needs to come out and what it needs to do, right? I think it's so very important for us to understand. A lot of times we do the opposite. We don't want to befriend our grief. We don't see it as an ally because it's pain and we don't want to hurt. Can you imagine if something happened to your leg, but you don't want it to hurt? Like, and you trying to, oh, I know it's cut. I know I got shot in my leg, but oh, I don't want it to hurt. I don't want to feel that pain. I don't want it to hurt. So it sounds crazy. So I'm gonna just ignore it and I'm gonna stay busy because I don't want it to hurt. I don't want to feel that pain. So I'm gonna stay busy. No, you're gonna feel it. And it's gonna get worse if you don't address it, right? Yeah, grief is the same way. When grief begins to talk to you and tell you and express to you and let you know where it's at and how it's doing and what it needs to do and what it needs in this season and what needs to happen, you got to understand the power and the importance of it being your ally. It's there to help you, not to hurt you. It's there to help you, not to hinder you. It's there to help you go through the natural and normal process and response to your loss, change, and transition. Your grief is there. Is there. That's why you have to mourn actively. That's why there must be some motion to your mourning, right? Because it's there to help you to navigate through the season that you're going through. Let's look at this final thought, y'all. My grief is actually the title of our devotion. My grief is my greatest ally. My grief is my greatest ally. I hope my hope and prayer, sincere hope and prayer and desire, is that you learn how to leverage this grief, that you realize that it is taking you through the process that will enable you to be better. It will enable you to navigate through this journey if you allow it. It's taking you through the process that will help you to navigate through this journey if you allow it. Amen. Y'all, today is day 162. I'm so glad y'all came through. My grief is my greatest ally. Still praying for you, hope and pray, y'all, that y'all hang in there, stay in the fight. We're going to get through this thing together. Today is day 162 of 365 days. Amen. And so we are excited to have this opportunity to continue in community to mourn meaningfully and to navigate through our grief. So look, I love y'all with the love of the Lord. Look, I hope you get to the house of God today. If you can, make it to the City of Hope Community Church, 10607 East 56th Street. If you're in the great city of Indianapolis, Indiana. If not, you can always watch virtually. Amen. I'll even stream it on this platform, on the Good Morning Facebook platform, so you can get it as well. Excited about what God is doing in your life. Looking forward to your continued healing. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'll see you tomorrow. If I don't see you today at 10 a.m., I'll see you tomorrow at 8 a.m. for another grief devotional. Let's go.
Uh, uh. Good morning. Good morning.